Hi, this is Crack Shot with Crack Shot Chronicles. Today I'd like to give a gun review. The gun in question, the Ruger 1022. Now right here, everybody knows the Ruger 1022. It is one of the most famous guns in North America. It fires a 22 long rifle, and it's a semi-automatic that actually has a bolt that locks to the rear, and you have to push this little button here. This little button right here will lock your bolt to the rear. And I just show you that it is an empty gun. And here's the magazines. It carries a 10 round rotary magazine. Now what I like about this gun is it comes in all kinds of different styles and shape, and there's unlimited ways of trying to modify it. This particular gun came from the factory with the black synthetic stock, okay, and it has of course the flip up rear sight here. And it came with the laser. Now this laser here, if you notice, this particular model has this laser. You basically just push the little button on the side, and there's the laser. Anywhere that laser hits, that's where the bullet's going to go. Okay. It also has a set of Picatinny rails on the left and the right, of which I went and bought myself a Surefire P6 flashlight and mounted it right on this Picatinny rail. Because the Ruger 1022 has very little recoil, this stays on very, very well. This is an excellent gun if you're going to use it for squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, small game hunting in general. A lot of people use it for personal defense. At home defense, it's a great weapon because it's very low recoil, has a very small muzzle blast. It holds 10 rounds of 1022 of 22 long rifle. It also comes available with a 25 round Ruger BX 20-25, which is the 25 round magazine. With 2 of these magazines in your hand and 10 more in the gun, I'm pretty sure if somebody were to invade my home, I should be able to defend my home with the 22. Now a lot of people say no, 22 long rifle is too weak. It won't create an immediate incapacitation, very little tissue destruction to the person you're shooting in a home defense situation. All of that is true, but because it virtually has no recoil, it is extremely easy to lay down fire extremely fast. You just pick it up, bang, 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 and you can put 10 rounds into somebody really quick. I don't care how big and bad you are. You got 10, 22 long rifles to the head or face, you're not getting up. It's going to be very easy to do that inside the distance of a home. Torso shots, the same. If you use 22 Stingers, that's a very fast round, and it should penetrate reaching the vital organs. One shot probably is not going to stop anyone. 10 shots into the chest, center mass, well-aimed shots, really, really fast. With the small recoil that it provides, you're probably going to stop them. If you run out of ammo, quick reload, you have 25 more to go. You got another reload, you got 25 more to go. That's 50, 60 rounds right there. I think you can defend yourself. Now what I did, I went ahead and put this Weaver scope rail right here on it. And I got myself a BSA red dot scope. Now what this does is it has no magnification at all whatsoever. But it does put a red dot in the center of the optic. So as I'm looking through, all I see is, through the view, is that little red dot on the target. Anywhere that dot is, that's where the bullet's going to go. It has adjustment for windage and elevation. I also did this myself. I just drilled 2 little holes in it. Put this is the old paint roller that I took. As you notice, it's kind of jimmy rigged up, but it's a paint roller. I was painting something black. When I was done with it, it dried and makes a nice little soft cushion for cheek rise, because when you put on the Ruger 1022 any kind of scope or an optic, your chin does not give you the proper stock weld. So for me, rather than putting my chin here like this on the top of the stock and not being able to get really good behind the scope or behind the optic, I like to ride my cheek a little higher here. This allows me to be able to get better shots. With the scope, with this red dot optic, I can't use the rear sight, but these rear sights are held in there with screws. All I got to do is pull them off by hand, 10 seconds, and I take it off if this fails me, and I can transition to iron sights. If that fails, I always have my laser. Just point the laser, and that's where the bullet's going to go. Also, it has a white light. This flashlight serves 2 purposes. I could turn it on and have it for target identification, or white blinding light to blind somebody that's in my house at night. A lot of people don't like the white blinding light because they feel that the bad guy knows where you are. Well, guess what? Once the bullets start flying, everybody knows where you are. So if you have a tactical light, you can target discriminate so you don't end up shooting your family members as they walking out of the bedroom or down the hallway coming approaching you. You can identify them with this flashlight and not have an accidental discharge. Or if it is an accident, it would be intentional, but it would be a negligent discharge on a family member. Because the Ruger 10/22 fires that .22 long rifle, over-penetration is going to be extremely unlikely. Yes, if you shoot through the walls inside of your home, it will go through and through. But it's a less likely of you accidentally shooting one of your family members in the other room with a .22 long rifle. What I like about this particular .22 long rifle, I'll show you the other side, is I did a couple modifications. I took a white crayon, and I went ahead and I filled in the writing so you can see Ruger 10/22. Some people don't like it. I do. This is my gun, not yours. So if you don't like it, oh well. But it does add a nice contrast to see the words Ruger on it with the 10/22 on it. Now, the reason why I decided to make this particular rifle the object of this review is not only because it's a good gun, reliable, it's very, very easy to find. Just about every gun store has it, and they're not very expensive. But you can buy all kinds of stocks, barrels. You can modify this thing all kinds of ways. I put these swivels on it so I could put a sling on it if I just go outside to go squirrel hunting. It works great. Now, squirrel hunting, I have to take the laser off. Not a problem. It has a little screw in there. It comes with the tools, little Allen wrenches. You just take the laser adapter off, and it looks like any average everyday 10/22. So that way you can legally hunt with it. Now, this particular gun I like because I made a modification to it that very few people have. Normally, you see this here, the bolt's locked to the rear. To lock this to the rear, to unlock it, you have to, it's a two-hand proposition. First, you have to take your finger. See this little tab right there? That little tab has to be depressed. So you hold the gun kind of awkwardly like this. You push that little tab in. You grab this charging handle and you have to pull it to the rear while simultaneously pushing in that tab. Then you have to let go of the tab and the bolt slides forward, chambering around after you put a magazine in. Well, with this gun, it doesn't have to do that. This particular gun, I removed this little tab that's in here. See if I can show it to you. See that little tab? Hold it against the white background. That little tab. There are lots of videos out there that'll show you how to take it apart and do it. I'm not going to do it because I've already sighted the scope in and it's ready to go hunting. But there's a lot of videos that show you how to take it out. All you have to do, there's a little part in it. It looks like just a metal piece of sheet metal, and it has a hole cut out. It resembles a Valentine, like a little heart. You just gotta shave off the tip of that pointy part that makes it look like a Valentine. Turn it, and it starts looking like an odd-shaped egg. Once that hole goes from Valentine to an egg, now when you lock this to the rear like this, and you insert a magazine, this one's empty, but I'm just going to show you. Insert a magazine. Normally you had to push this button in here and push this back to chamber the round. Now you don't. Watch what happens. Just pull it to the rear and it goes forward. Again, if you own a 10/22, you know that when you fire that last shot and you take the old magazine out, you take the fresh magazine and you put it in, you lock this to the rear and it locks. Then you have to push this little button here, that little tab that I'm telling you. With this gun, you don't. It will not lock and stay locked without. You could actually you don't have to push this button. Just pull it back and there it goes. That modification makes this Ruger 10/22 operate like every other semi-automatic out there. Normally, you just insert magazine, pull the charging handle to the rear, let it go. It goes forward, takes and chambers the next round. That is a wonderful modification for this particular gun. Again, I would not recommend you use a .22 long rifle for personal protection or home defense. in a handgun. In a rifle is a different story. The longer barrel, if you notice the front side post here, and here's the rear side aperture, allows for a more accurate shot than a handgun. A handgun only has, in a 22, maybe only has 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, maybe 6 inches of distance between the rear sight and the front sight, which makes it very hard to aim and be accurate while shooting fast. With a rifle, because of the long sight radius, it's extremely easy to shoot fast and accurately. Also, with the low recoil, it's going to be easy to hit rapidly, multiple shots. And the fact that it's a longer barrel gives that 22 long rifle bullet more time to burn all the powder before it exits the barrel, causing it to travel at higher velocities, making it a more lethal round when it does reach its target. So, if you like this video, please hit subscribe. Also, please hit like and make a comment. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for your support. Have a great day.